How you started playing basketball?
I started playing basketball when I was around 4 years old, when my parents put like a little court in my backyard, the one where little kids can dunk on. So that's when I first started playing basketball, just in the backyard. And I would just watch like NBA games on TV. And then eventually when I got into kindergarten, I would be playing during recess with my friends on the mini court. And then when I hit first grade, I think, that's when we had, for our school, we had like a league for little kids for basketball. It was called Peanuts. And my parents signed me up for that. And it was one of those leagues where they let the little kids get away with like travels, double dribbles. It's just a league for kids just to get started in basketball, where they kind of teach like the rules of the game. And I started playing that, and then eventually, second grade, we had a thing called CYO tryouts, and this is for like all the Catholic schools within our area. So for our school, we didn't have a second grade team. We had a third grade team, and I was in second grade. So I ended up playing up for the third grade team, and that was my first, like, I would say, competitive basketball experience. Well, it was competitive to me, but like for everyone else, like the parents, it was probably just to see their kids play. And from then on, I would play CYO every year until 8th grade. But going into my third grade year, that's when I would play for my actual age group. And I would say I would always play CYO, but I would never play in the summer. So then I would say around sixth grade, my sixth grade summer, after CYO season in the summer, I finally played AAU. It's pretty much just like travel basketball. And that was my first experience of that. And I played for this team in my area called UC Raptors. And then that was my first summer playing real, like training in the summer, practicing basketball. So after that summer, that's when I seen like significant growth in basketball. And that's when I really started to like the game. And yeah, from then on I went to play high school basketball and then so forth to college.
How's your high school varsity in U.S.?
It was a good experience for me. I went to public high school after coming from a private Catholic elementary school. I got into that high school because my 7th grade CYO championship, one of the assistant JV coaches of my high school was watching, and he told me to play high school summer league that summer as I was a 7th grader. And I show up, and I was thinking it was like a JV summer league practice, but it was a varsity summer league practice. And I ended up like impressing the coaches. And so my whole 8th grade year, my high school was basically like grooming me and trying to get me to go to their high school. So I ended up going there, and I would say high school basketball is when I viewed basketball way more seriously. That's when like games started to matter a lot more, and just like how much the coaches cared about the game too. This is like when coaches would start like teaching about life lessons within basketball. So for my high school experience, I played varsity all 4 years. I played varsity as a freshman. I was lucky enough to be in a situation where I was able to play significant minutes my first year of high school. The only thing was we weren't that good of a high school team that year. We thought we were going to do good, but we ended up having a terrible season that year. And I was playing like the 1 through 3. And then going into my sophomore year, they moved me officially to the point guard position. And we did a little better my second year, but it still wasn't anything of relevance. And going into my junior year, that's when we started winning basketball games, and things started to pick up for our school. We ended up making our section playoffs, and then ended up making the state playoffs, and we ended up beating pretty big teams and breaking some school records. I think we had beat a school where we have never beat them before. And my senior year, we were a really good team my senior year. It's just like our chemistry wasn't really there. But we also had a good year, but it wasn't as good as we expected it to be. But yeah, definitely loved my high school experience there.
Why you choose NU your first college school?
NU actually wasn't my first college. I played 3 years in the States first college at a Division III school called UC Santa Cruz. And after those 3 years, it was a pandemic. And on YouTube, I was like watching a lot of basketball, and I came across the UAP scene, and I really enjoyed the magnitude and the love that Filipinos show for the game of basketball. So I ended up really having like a urge to play in UAP, and luckily through one of my connections, shout out to Coach Turo Valenzuela. He helped me get in contact with the management at NU. So NU eventually recruited me to go there after the pandemic. And I chose NU because I really wanted to play UAP, and I think that platform, they would give me the platform to really like showcase my skills. And I just really liked the UAP scene. I liked how competitive it was. I felt like it was more of a competitive level than the level I was playing at in the States. And yeah, that's why I chose NU, my first Philippine school out here.
Why you transferred in JRU?
I transferred to JRU because I was at NU, and my first year there, it didn't really go the way I expected to. I was kind of still had to adjust my game to the Filipino style, and while I was adjusting, they were recruiting more guards. So when I was there, John Filisilda just left, and Enzo Hoson just graduated. So there were more guards coming in. So they had recruited L.A. Casanillo. He came from UST, I think. And they also had recruited Don Lim from LaSalle. And then news was just breaking that Kian Bablai was going to go to NU. So I figured that it would be best for me to transfer schools to somewhere I could play and really develop my game and, actually play minutes, significant minutes. And Coach Glenn Cavasio was an assistant coach at NU. And he's also one of the main coaches at JRU. So I approached him and told him I was interested in leaving and finding a new place to play at. And he said, "Why not come to JRU? The coaches will love you." He thought that I would really fit into the system. So then I went to one practice just to see how it was. And then I talked to the head coach, Coach Louis. Coach Louis said he really wanted me and they'd love it if I came over. And then after talking to my family about it, I ended up at JRU.
How's experience playing in NCAA?
It was definitely a great experience. It was my first time really playing in a mother league here in the Philippines because I wasn't able to play UAP. And I just felt the passion that everyone had for it, how every game mattered, how it almost felt like our whole lives, or for our teammates and I, our whole lives were just depending on these games, depending on how the season went. Like if we lost, it would just hurt, And it was great. I remember the first game. Fortunate enough, JRU was a host this past season. So a lot of JRU fans and the community came out to support us. I'm thankful for that. And I remember the first game we hosted, it was at MOA. And MOA was packed to the top seats. I just remember just like looking up and just taking it all in. And I remember being nervous too in warm-ups because I've never played in front of that many people before. I remember in warm-ups I was like overthinking my shot, I was drinking, and I was just like super excited to play though. So once I got in, after a couple up and downs, like the jitteriness went away. But yeah, no, I definitely loved this season. We made our team had a good run. We fell a little short at the end. Definitely wish that we could have made the Final Four, because I know if we made the Final Four, we could have made some history for our school, definitely. But hopefully next year we'll make the Final Four.
Top 3 toughest opponent players in NCAA.
That's a tough question, but names that pop up in my head would be Enoch Valdez. He was very tough, just not really like offensively. Like, you can stay in front of him, but it's more the fact that he's very physical. Like, even if you cut him off, even if you cut off his driving lane, he's still trying to like get past you. So that's where the physicality came into play. And also, he was more of a threat when you weren't guarding him. Like, if you were on defense and you were guarding him and the shot would go up, he's always trying to get the offensive rebound. And that's where I think he really excelled at. It's like off-ball movement, slashing. And yeah, he's really active. And that's one thing that really made him a tough player. And another name that comes to mind is Lil Gozum. Just because he's really big and he's skilled for his size. He has some guard skills, and his outside shooting is pretty impressive because I remember one time he caught me off guard. I was guarding him in transition and he was coming down, so I was inside the three-point line, like ready for if he was to drive and attack, and he put up the three and he made it, and that impressed me a little bit. And I remember he went off against us. He had like close to 30 points or maybe 30 points. So yeah, just his size and his ability to move in the post, that gave problems for our team. And the third toughest player in NC would be either between like Clint or Jacob. Like, they're both skilled guards. They both can get a bucket and they're both very quick. I would say Clint's really good at steals. Like, he's really good at reading the passing lanes, and he'll just shoot right through the passing lane, get the steal, get some easy layups. And he's also very quick in transition. And then Jacob, he's a tough shot maker. Like, he's really good at shooting from the outside and creating his own shot. And that's what I think really sets those two apart.
How's teammate Theo Pabico?
And Theo's my brother. He's very welcoming. Like, I remember when I first transferred, I didn't expect to be very talkative towards him, but he, like, every time I would walk into practice, we would both like make sure that we high five each other, just greet each other. And yeah, no, he's like, I remember our coach Glenn, he would say that like Theo Pabico, he's like the Draymond Green of our team, because he's like a do-it-all of our team, like a glue guy. Like, he can make good passes at the four, and he's an undersized four, and he can step out, make some open shots every once in a while. And yeah, he's just a great addition to the team. I'm glad I met him because he's a better guy off the court. He's a very funny guy. Like, he's always cracking jokes, and yeah, no, he's one of my teammates who helped me feel more comfortable at JRU for sure. Love that guy.
Who is the best teammate you ever had here in the Philippines?
For me personally, my favorite teammate would have to be William C. He was, I would say, the second guy that kind of welcomed me at JRU. The first would be Ryan De La Rosa, another Phil Lam over here. But William C., I just remember him. I like his effort in trying to like get to know me and welcome me, because when I first came, he would speak to me in English, and he likes talking. Like, this dude loves to talk, so that's one thing that really made me get close to him, is like his willingness to talk to me, even though like I guess I'm an Englishero. And yeah, So during the off season, before NCAA 99, most of our veterans were playing NPBL. So it was like me and like William C. and a bunch of other guys that were playing for JRU while the other guys were playing NPBL. And I just remember like me, William C. and some other guys, we would just grind it out every day. We would just be grinding it out through practice every day. We would come back at night, and when I would come back to lift at night, I would see him there always. And then he would always shoot me a text like, "Bro, when are you gonna do extra? Let's do extra." He was like one of those teammates who, if I tell him let's go do extra, he's down, or he'll be the one to ask me, "Oh, let's go get some extra work in." And you can never question it, like his heart, because he really puts his all in basketball and for his teammates. He's like a very unselfish guy in terms of being on the court. He was never really looking to score his own points. He would always, try to get others involved. He was also a leader too. He would like bring guys in and communicate with us, like, guys, we need to do this. He was definitely, I would say, the glue guy in terms of like communication. Like every time he's around, the conversation gets more lively and everyone gets involved. He's one person, like, he's a brother for life, and he's recently left JRU, so I'm pretty sad about that, but I still talk to him every day, and yeah, one of the best teammates I've had ever.
Why jersey number 3?
Originally, I was number 4 at NU, because number 4 is my favorite number, and then when I got to JRU, someone already had that number, a veteran, Asia Miranda, so I had to pick a different number, and I was going to go with 12, but another veteran had that number too. And I really like single-digit numbers on jerseys, so I was trying to keep it a single-digit number, and I was either thinking between like 0 and 3, but I like the way 3 looks, and because of Chris Paul, Allen Iverson, mainly Allen Iverson, I just think a single-digit number like 3 is deep.
Last question, top 3 best NBA player in the West right now.
Question. In the West. Definitely Jokic. Jokic is up there. I think he's the best big man in the game right now, or best player right now. I would have to say Luka. Luka's up there too. I like the way Shai's playing right now, but I guess I'm kind of biased because I'm from the Bay Area. So I would give number 3 to Steph Curry. I think Steph Curry, if their team was winning a lot more right now, he'd be in the MVP conversation. So those are my top 3 in the West. But like you could never go wrong putting like LeBron in there. He's always consistent. That's a hard question. Yeah. So yeah, Jokic, Luka, Curry, and then if you were to say 5, I'd say Shai, LeBron. No, thank you. Appreciate you for having me.
Thank you for watching.